As a 2004-2010s kid, I'm sure you guys already know, I'm in love with Sonic Unleashed. This baddie was my second game behind Sonic Colors. I remember everything about my experiences with this game, and heartwarmingly, I'm ready to give it my stamp of approval in our retrospect series. Yo, what's up guys? It's your Socks for 5 and 6, and welcome back to our retrospect series. As y'all know, I'm doing these once a month in between Sonic Tales episodes until we get to our upcoming Sonic Tales movie. And as tradition with these retrospect videos, we're going to be doing this alongside a special guest. Last time we had set it on for a retrospect look at Sonic 06, which performed decently, but today we got another fan favorite in the general consensus, Sonic Unleashed. Quick 2 shoutouts first to Fcplaythroughs, again for providing most of the gameplay in today's video, except in sections like where I'm making a specific point. I swear I boot up the game. I swear. And Hotline Sawani. I'm using most of Bro's tracks in this one, and his Unleashed tracks are just something else. And like last time, I'm going to talk about Sonic Unleashed gameplay first, and then our special guest, Tiny Balloons MT, will talk about the story, and then I'll give my fair share points on the characters. Simple? Simple. Let's dive straight into this retrospect look of Sonic Unleashed. Sonic Unleashed gameplay is some of my favorite Sonic gameplay there is overall. Yes, I am a fan of the Werehog. Hopefully I did not just trigger anyone. But before we talk about that, this was the Boost gameplay's first introduction to Sonic the Hedgehog, really pushing the limits and showing fans that this is Sonic at top speed while being playable. Coming after games like Heroes, 06, Shadow, Unleashed was kind of like that breath of fresh air that Sega needed. The concept of the Sonic Boost was introduced in Sonic Heroes, where any character could repeatedly use a short, momentary dash of speed in the special stages. It was later in Sonic Rush and Sonic Rush Adventure that the technique redeveloped for universal usage and dubbed for the Super Boost. Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 would later develop an exact picture of the mechanism, a technique which subsequently appeared in Sonic and the Secret Rings. In Sonic Unleashed, that technique was finally fleshed out, and for consoles drawing much of it is its content and dynamic from its Sonic Rush series counterparts. Oh my gosh, I had to say this 100 times. Those are some big words. So kind of like I said, they wanted a breath of fresh air going into like a whole new environment that they had just bits and pieces of in previous titles. Now, is the Boost gameplay good? Let's conversate. I think the change was welcome to the fan base, a surprisingly new look for Sonic that was genuinely cool. As a kid, I was in love with the Boost, but I'll admit, I never really felt like I had control of Sonic, but it was still incredibly fun. But after my replay, I see it both ways. Just an out-of-control boost to the end, attempted platforming, and the fun, exhilarating rush of the Boost. I think the challenge of the Boost for me comes in the form of the level that I couldn't beat. It's not that hard, I know, but it's the and I'd be like sitting there shaking and stuff, and just from the sweat in my palms, my controller look all like glossy and it look like a brand new controller. That's how bad I'd be nervous. The only thing I will say is that there's no good or like different way to do Boost stage boss fights. Man, that's a mouthful. Like, for real, it's really just you hold X, or the PlayStation equivalent, and dodge. And it only changes, of course, for Super Sonic. But that's the thing with this formula. Since Unleashed level design isn't perfect and it's just really learning and getting the feel for how to make levels with the Boost, it does hinder it a bit. I don't know. The Boost in this game is like so close to like flawless for Sonic that I could talk about it a bit more with like how they created it and stuff like that, but I don't know, that's boring to me and I ain't gonna edit that part of the video. So that's really my take on the Boost. I really love most things about it, and yes, I'm gonna talk about it a little bit more later, but let's talk about the thing that I truly love the most. Please don't kill me, the Werehog and his gameplay. The Werehog has been my buddy since day one. I was never a depressed kid, but I was definitely on the quiet side of things and didn't really make friends because I like Sonic. You know, that's definitely changed now. I'm kind of the popular kid at my school, but I ain't gonna flex too hard on y'all. But as a kid, I just bought a lot of toys and made up stories with them with my sister. Sound familiar? But when I picked up the game, the first thing that caught my mind was that it was $15! The Werehog was on it, and playing as him for the first time was fun ash. I'll dive into both sides on the argument of the Werehog, but I'm talking from my POV first. It's a button masher platforming quizzique, and I'll be honest, what drew me and my sister into buying this game was that he ran like a little doggy. Aww. Yeah, you're never gonna catch me talking like that again. But no joke, that itself brought me joy, and I just remember playing that game for last time at my old house before I moved. I got into the boss fight at Chunnan, and the sequence of that fight against the bird, that fire demon purple bird, bro, was something special to me. Just the extreme attacks, I think, is what reeled me in, to be honest. And the final thing that took the cake for me was Chip and Sonic's talk about being a monster. I always wanted to see myself like that, being able to have serious, just you type talks. Like, that is just yourself, that's your personality. That's kind of what I got between Sonic and Chip. They were just really expressing themselves in that conversation. And that also explains why I never used the Werehog in my series. I actually rewrote him out, because if you remember one of the episodes, he was definitely in it, in a canon series episode. But I just genuinely love him. I just want to keep him as a safe place for my childhood, and I don't want to like rewrite anything, because Unleashed was that heart and stone place how I remember him. You know what I'm saying? See this, bro? It's been here with me since release. I think it's 7 years old, whenever it came out. Enough about merch and my show. The Werehog was important to me, but who cares? Let's talk about the general consensus of this game. Good? Bad? Depends what Sonic fan you're talking to. I guarantee if you're asking a classic Sonic fanboy, he's gonna probably say that he's not a big fan of the Werehog and it should be gone. And Adventure Baby's probably gonna say the Werehog should be Knuckles. I'll have something to read on that later. And like, everyone ahead pretty much loves the game, and everyone from every era pretty much loves the boost. I'm sick of stages like Empire City when I have to go back and replay this game, or add the... I'm reading it off my script, I'm going to try it. Add the bat. Okay, the level that I'm gonna put on screen. But I'm sick of stages like that, because I'm aware I'm gonna be sitting there for like the next 8 to 15 minutes, depending on how good you are. That is like the normal range for how long those levels are in particular. And being for real, I couldn't tell you why this is the way it is, or why they built the stages to be so long. There's no interviews or follow-ups I could find. But something else I did find out was that some fans would have preferred Knuckles over the Werehog gimmick. And in some people's eyes, there was originally a mechanic where Knuckles was built in game, but was cut early when the boost was announced to be the next genre of gameplay. Like I said, I'm a big fan of our fluffy boy, so I'm glad they stuck to their guns and went with it. I've never saw too much wrong with him, but like I said, that's just me. Now, before we hand the baton off to Tiny, I have like 4 or 5 honorable mentions that I promise are super quick that I want to talk about. Unleashed OST. This, in my opinion, is the best Sonic OST there is. Something that Sonic consistently usually gets right is the OST, but this one is the best in my opinion. Yes, better than 06, SA1, 2, Colors if you thought that one had a shot. You name it. Just listen to these remixes by my boy Sawani. I'll play 10 seconds on my favorite 3.
It's right there for me. Possibilities are never ending. I see it, and now it's all within my reach.
Next, my favorite levels: Rooftop Run, Eggman Land Act 2, and the Adabat Werehog stage. Just remember the special things about these levels. Boosting as fast as you can in Rooftop Run, always thought that was something special. Eggman Land bringing you one of the toughest video game challenges for me ever. Adabat, am I even saying that right? Giving me a beautiful, chill experience with the Werehog. Third honorable mention, the Sun and Moon medals. Let me remind you, the honorable mentions do not have to all be good. I'm not a fan of medals. I mean, granted, like, who is, but Ugh, they is annoying. But I also don't hate them. Like, it gives you a challenge, especially in the boost level, so you're not just like boosting to the end and that's it. And it's low-key fun to find them in the Werehog stages. And sure, maybe it's a bias, but you can go in like levels with the mindset and be like, okay, I need to find them. Then I mean, like, you're fine. In my final honorable mention, the special moments. Whether it be Chip talking to Sonic, Chip's death that actually tore me up as a little one, or just the good setups and payoffs this game had. Wonderful, I say. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and hear from our special guest today, Tiny Balloons MT, about his thoughts on Sonic Unleashed story. Then you hear my thoughts on the characters, and we're gonna call it a video. Let's do it.
Alright, so let's continue with the story. Sonic Unleashed has one of the best stories of the entire franchise. Eggman was trying to do something evil we don't know yet, and then Sonic comes in and does what he always does, trying to stop him from doing evil. But as he got a little bit stuck, he turns into Super Sonic. Eggman gets intimidated and flies away, or at least he seems to. Super Sonic chases after him and gets him to fall on his knees. Eggman may look defeated, but it was all part of his plan. He presses a button, Sonic gets trapped, all of the Chaos Emeralds get destroyed, and Sonic himself turns into the hairy, controversial beast, the Werehog. As this is happening, a light beam shoots into Earth, releasing a huge unknown monster we will later learn is Dark Gaia. Eggman later on explains that this creature will help him create the ultimate Eggman Empire before throwing him off into Earth. After falling for what seemed like an eternity and digging literally into the Earth, he gets up and looks to see someone has fallen. When that someone wakes up, his instant reaction was to run away of fear, but he learns quickly that Sonic is a very nice guy and to introduce themselves, later on realizing that he does not know his own name after the Earth broke apart. It turns day, and that was when Sonic learned something. He is Hedgehog in the day and a gruesome Werehog at night. Now Sonic has to get the Chaos Emeralds powered back up, while figuring out who this creature, later on nicknamed as Chip, really is. The plot isn't the only thing that makes the story so awesome. It's those critical moments they got right. Mainly how Sonic interacted with people, especially with Tails and Chip. Tails actually feels included during the adventure, and is actually helpful during tornado stages, and gives Sonic some information along the way. He isn't just thrown into an elevator last second or something, which I still haven't forgiven Sonic for, by the way. And the dynamic between Chip and Sonic is just amazing. Whether there are serious or happy moments, you will not get tired of these two together. During the game, there are side problems that add to the story, such as Dr. Pickle, or removing the Gaia monsters from the citizens. This keeps the game fresh and eliminates boredom from the player. Let's just say that this is the best that Sonic has ever been, and it will never be the same again. Unless, you know, Sonic Frontiers beats it, which is probably the case because Ian Flynn is behind the wheel.
Just like in the first retrospective, to differ a bit from my special guest and not beat a dead horse about the story, I'm going to go ahead and chat about the characters. First, of course, being Sonic. Jason Griffith's best performance. Sonic's character is real and enjoyable, an experience you want as a Sonic fan. After that beautiful opening cutscene, snarky remarks, and Sonic turning into the Werehog. The thing I like that Sonic struggles with is accepting his new form. He honestly did what I didn't expect. I thought he'd be like, whoa, this is pretty cool. I wonder if I'll be like this forever. You know, and just accept it. But no, he's actually in denial a lot, and even as I want Amy seeing him, this is very, like subtle, romantic, and possibly friendship or plot threads. You know, I'll reconnect on that later actually. Sonic pushes the story along the best that he can as kind of the lead protagonist. He doesn't focus on the threat as much as getting the emeralds back in the Gaia temple and working on his friendship with Chip, which is quite adorable if I do say so myself. Even getting as close to Sonic not to give up on Chip. Now sure, this is definitely a callback from the older Sonic games and how his heart is pure gold and does what he can to put a smile on people's face, but as a characterized friendship and writing, this is beautiful and well executed for Sonic the Hedgehog. And even by the end of the game, when Sonic tells Chip,
Chip! Run, Chip!
and Chip sticks by his side after that scene. I say this a lot to people who ask, how do you like write good scripts and stuff like that? The first thing you really want to do is something that we call a setup and payoff. And though that's a really small thing in the setup and payoff category, and usually you should probably do it with the villains, in this game, that setup and payoff alone with Sonic and Chip really makes their friendship seem, you know, more genuine. Also, since we're already kind of on the final scene, though Super Sonic doesn't have many lines, like I don't actually know if he has any, you can just tell he's badass, ready to kick ass, and it's honestly beautiful. That was my first taste of Super Sonic, and boy, you can just tell bro is phenomenal. Chip starts out with amnesia and forgetting his name, and you know, that's one way to start his character. He's not bad. I actually genuinely like him at points, but he is annoying. Like, genuinely good as he can be, he can genuinely just be as annoying. I love the twist when you play the game for the first time and you find out that Chip is like Gaia. It's just that it can seem kind of random at times, not gonna lie. Like, this kept this dormant. I just find that hard to believe, like, honestly. But he's adorable. How can you hate him? Anyways, kind of same as Sonic, the setups and payoffs are like God tier with these two, just to make their friendships just feel so genuine. When Chip does not back down, I feel like that was such a powerful scene, that beautiful CGI scene, and he gets all the temple stuff, and you can just tell, for a video game friendship as well, this is just so genuine and so well done in the writing department, I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah, sure, they had their doubts, that's for sure. But I think he's just bearable for me to enjoy him, so he's pretty okay. And yes, Chip's passing was pretty sad to me, and it still is kind of to this day. I just wish that Sonic like wore his what was his necklace, his brace or something on his wrist for like some other games, like just a few more games after that, and then maybe like he puts it down. It's just like, you know, in remembrance of Chips, I ain't gonna wear it no more. You know, I don't know, like something like that instead of just wearing it at the end of Unleashed, and that's like it. I think he wears it in one of the Winter Olympic Games. I'm not sure. That's a good question. Tails. Tails. The mouthpiece for smart things outside of Professor Pickle. Truly, that is Tails' role throughout this entire game. Since Chip exists as a main hero type guy alongside Sonic, Tails can't really contribute in like any other way. And Unleashed was meant to be a soft reboot for the games, lessen the group a bit, but it's like Tails is missing from most interaction. I don't know if it's with Amy or Chip or whatever. It's just weird to me, even more I say it right now. Like, characters like him can't be injections. He's a main character for a reason. I personally hate when games or cartoons do that. If that's all he's gonna be, make it less noticeable. Give him a player 2 build with a relationship with like some side character, you know what I'm saying? Like him and Amy talking more would have been perfect, but you just made him the mouthpiece for all smart things. It just doesn't make sense to me. PP! Oh, PP, my beloved! Alright, let's say it. Professor Pickle's a Walmart mentor for Sonic, because that's never what he was supposed to be. His only big moments was when he got captured, and like, that's it. Like, for real. He's a mouthpiece for the guy in manuscript, and that's really all he does. But that works for him, do not get me wrong. He's not used a lot, and that's because nobody cares about him. Amy is actually like really nice in this game, used as a second counterpart point of view character, just really to get another look at the whole Earth splitting situation, and of course Sonic the Werehog. She's actually not as annoying in this game to me. She starts the mark of her being a more mature woman. Sure, they keep her love interest with Sonic, but still, that's about it. Oh, and her little friendship with Professor Pickle, adorable. Dr. Eggman. Okay, this part is totally off the top of my dome because I was in church and I was like writing the script, and I told myself I would come out of church and finish Eggman's part of the script and then start recording. And that never happened. So this part is unscripted, so please excuse my stuttering. This is Mike Pollock's best performance as Eggman. You can just tell that he definitely really cares. I mean, he always cares about Eggman. You already know how he is, but you could feel Eggman being more kind of like a malicious villain, even though I still think he's part goofy in this game, mainly because of Orbot. He's definitely more threatening, which is just really all I could ask for from Dr. Robotnik. And the only main thing I do get out of it is that he doesn't interact with Dark Gaia enough. Like, I almost wish they treated it like a Chaos and Eggman situation from SA1, but, you know, a boy can dream. And the final character for today, my boy Dark Gaia. I don't even know what to think of him. Bro was hidden away for like most of the game. So I guess he's like a creepy cool villain. I just feel like, you know, he should have got some more before like the final battle. Like he should have been in the story or in the game a little bit more. Like maybe you had to do kind of like a Eggman Land type thing where you had the boost and the Werehog, get to do some stages with him. Like let's say Dark Guy like ripped through the earth and then you had to go and like run around the Sonic's World Adventure type thing. I don't know, just some lost potential with him. At the end of the day though, I love Sonic Unleashed. There's just nothing more to it. It gave me the most when I felt like I had nothing. Sonic actually modeled a way that I wanted to act toward people, and it gave me a genuine fun time. No matter if it was day or night, this game to me still shines bright. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this month's retrospect. Next video will be a Sonic Tales video. Next retrospect will come, of course, next month. And of course, if you guys didn't know, that Sonic Tales movie is around the corner. So you already know promotion's gonna get going with a Meet the Voice Actor with Chris. So get your questions ready for when I ping y'all on the server or post it on IG or Twitter. But, you know, make sure to check my socials and all that. Links are in the description so you do not miss out on that. Aside from that, guys, that's gonna do it for me in this retrospect. I love you guys. Wear your socks. Peace.
Life and death and love and birth and life and death and love and birth and life and death and love and birth and peace and war.